watching us. Follow the conversation on our social media page, Ask Muvi. Send those questions and comments. We'll be able to see through and see which relevant questions and comments that we can be able to forward to our guest this evening. But of course, let me just unveil my guest this evening. Of course, not new. He's been here before at a time when he was in the opposition. At the time, to backdate it further, he was in the NDC at that moment. I remember very well. But finally, he is now a Minister of Commerce, Trades and Industry under the New Dawn administration. Let's find out what Honorable Chipo Kamulenga has for you this evening. Honorable, welcome to the program.
Thank you, Innocent, and thank you, viewers. Much appreciated.
Thank you so much. Allow me to officially congratulate you on air
you.
right now for your appointment as Minister of Commerce, Trades and Industry.
Thank
very
you
vibrant, very charismatic, and a young man. I think
you.
we are proud of you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Let's get into it now. One of the advocates we've had for a long time in this country is to have young people to be given, bigger positions or ministerial positions, if you like, so that you can be there to represent a number of young people out there.
Sure.
What is there now? How do you feel that you're finally a minister to start with? And what are you offering to the people or the young generation that are watching you right now?
Okay. First and foremost, Innocent, I want to thank God for the victory that we witnessed in this country. The ushering in of the New Dawn administration, led by His Excellency President Hakainde Hichilema. I think it has given a fresh breath of political life, social life, cultural, even spiritual life to the Zambian people. Because, the past 10 years, particularly the last 5 years, was quite oppressive. It was mind-enduring, economically, in many aspects. And I think we just have to thank God. He saw it fit that a brand new administration comes in place. So I thank God for what happened. And I just want to extend my gratitude to President Hakainde Hichilema and the UPND leadership, and for giving me this opportunity to contest this election and represent the party, the UPND party in Chingola. And I just want to extend my gratitude also to the residents of Chingola, particularly Chingola constituency, who came out in large numbers and gave us this victory. It's all God's doing, and I just want to thank those people. And I don't take it lightly that they came out to vote. Like we have seen, many elections have come. People have won elections, and leaders have gone to parliament, and others have been appointed as ministers, and they forget the people where they're coming from. I pledge allegiance to those people. The youth that stood in the sun, braved the cold, the women and men that said, we are voting for Chipoka as Member of Parliament, we are voting for Hakainde Hichilema as President. I think we owe it to them to give them prudent leadership and servitude, and that's what we are so focused on. I just want to extend my gratitude to my lovely and wonderful wife, Likonge, and the twins, who have enjoyed a lot from the time I joined the political arena. They've embraced a life that they did not choose. I led them into it. They've taken it like their own, and they've moved on with me. It's not an easy undertaking, I can assure you. Under the past regime, we went through a lot. Almost losing lives, hacked. Myself, I've been through that, just because I belong to the opposition. Jobs terminated even when you least expect, just because of being aligned to the opposition. I remember when I had a good chat with Councillor Joseph Ricky Akafumba. We were talking about these things, and he said, this is quite lamentable. A young man like you, they declare you redundant just because you are expressing yourself.
And I was about to ask you that question, actually. Yeah,
Yeah, you're expressing.
Very terrible situation.
Yeah, it's one of those things, and sometimes you pay a price, which is not right, but it happens. And we went through it, but we believed in what we believed in, and we soldiered on. I remember it was quite interesting. I just want to also extend my gratitude to Legal Counsel Joseph Akafumba. He's one of the people that really encouraged me and said, stand steadfast. Yeah, and the church, we just want to thank God and salute them. That's why you see the president is a very committed Christian, and he respects the church. I want to respect the church, the church mother bodies, particularly the church which I go to, the UCZ as well. They came, and even when I lost a job, mothers in the church, youths in the church, the choirs, they are very encouraging. So I think it's important. I'm mentioning these things because I just want to remind people that it's important to encourage people, especially when they're in a point of despair. You know, when you're standing there with them, they'll believe that, okay, I believe in the right things. Yeah, and you mentioned about the NDC, you mentioned now I'm in the UPND, you may wonder why. You know, right now you're saying, very youthful minister with a very big portfolio. It's not just me that President Hakainde Hichilema and the UPND leadership has given a ministerial position, quite young, even before you turn 40 years, they get to believe in you. Look at the Minister of Foreign Affairs. That's a very delicate position, quite youthful, but very intelligent. Look at myself. Look at the Minister of Mines. Look at the Minister of Justice.
Transport.
Yeah, look at transport, yes, you know. But I think, you know, there's something that God has done on President Hichilema. He has given him an eye to identify quality in leadership and also mentorship. Because to me, all I can say is I thank God that I'm serving under him, because there is a lot that I have to learn from him. The man is very assertive. The man is very consistent. Actually, it's just one of the things that I really admire so much about him. When he engaged me, I had a meeting with him at his home prior to the elections itself. When he's a good listener. He spends time to listen. You talk, you can talk forever. You just be listening to him. And then when he gets to speak, you just draw so much inspiration. So that just really motivated me, because this is a man that has never compromised his position. The past years that he's been in opposition, he's never compromised. He's always stuck to his principles. People didn't believe in him when it started, but he was consistent. And it's something that I learned. And I could continue learning from him. Consistency. Believe in yourself. You have the dream yourself alone. You know, I sat with him before the campaigns and before I was even adopted as a member of parliament, just from his residence. And he sat, you know, that man keeps his word. It's something that I want to live to be. Keep your word. Be consistent. He said this to me, that, look, I look forward to a time when we make a cabinet, during those times of Bill 10, when we form cabinet of passionate and visionary people, like yourselves. Look at you, a young man. You stand before people, you speak and you offer a vision and a hope to the people, you know. And I've seen how he's directing us. I think there's light at the end of the tunnel. Because I may be minister, but I've got a lot to learn from him. So I draw a lot of inspiration and motivation from that man. So I think now, for me to respond to the question where you say, what do the youths have to expect from me? What I'll have to tell the youths is, look, nothing, absolutely nothing will be handed over to them just like that in their hands. Nothing. Everything must be earned. Everything, you must work for it. You need to stand up and be counted. There are so many youths in this country. Besides, Zambia is a very youthful country. Very youthful population. The generation is very youthful. So now, from the millions of youths that are there, you just sit at home and wait for handouts to be given in your hands. It can't happen. So I'm trying to inspire and encourage my fellow youths there that rise up, be a part of the governance system that we are bringing as a new dawn government. There is hope, there is a future, there is certainty of a better tomorrow. Let's work together. Right now, the new dawn government has presented a brilliant budget. Brilliant budget. It's being debated right now. But it's not a budget that is just going to find you at home. Youths are setting up cooperatives. Youths are setting up small companies. Be a part of it. Come, let's do this noble cause together. You will be identified. You will be placed in that position of responsibility. So I just want to tell the youth that we will not let you down. In the past, we have seen when some ministers in some past governments were appointed, youthful. All they could do is make headlines, dancing with heads down, legs up in the air. They really, really didn't inspire youth that much. But this generation, this leadership under the new dawn government led by the president, we are kind of generational leadership that is trying to give a hope to the youths, that don't just be told that you are the future leaders. The future is now. The time for yourself to be a part of the governance system is now. And we have a president, we have a vice president, Her Honor the Vice President, Madam Mutanina Lumango, who is so receptive, so engaging, and so informative. Talk to her sometime, you will love it. They are giving us a chance to learn from them. Look at the collection of leadership in the cabinet that the president has given. Quite impressive. We have a lot to learn from those that have served before. Because look, it just can't happen. The whole cabinet can't just be of youths. We'll end up we'll end up breaking, we'll end up stumbling. There should be transfer of knowledge, transfer of leadership skill and ability. I find myself in the council of many, besides the president himself, besides the vice president. I sit with the finance minister. I learn a lot from him. He's a very quiet man, but he knows what he's doing. And engage him, you have a very sober interaction with him. I learn a lot from the seasoned politician and very eloquent Honorable Galin Kombo. He just grabs me by the hand, we sit and talk, and it's just amazing. So this is a leadership that we don't want to show the public that we are MPs, we are ministers, we've got jackets so nobody can touch us. We are servants. The president himself is so humble, so simple, that he's so engaging, and everybody wants to reach out to him and talk to him. It's what we want. We don't want people to be scared to come to our offices. We are the leadership that people have given in servitude, not power. He's always said it. Power is with the people who decide who reigns tomorrow and who leads tomorrow and who doesn't lead tomorrow. So all what we are doing is being stewards of the resources for the Zambian people. Yeah.
All right. Honorable, furthermore, and I'm glad you've elaborated a lot of issues of which are very beneficial to the young people that are watching this program. And you did mention just a little background about who President HH is. I'm very happy to hear that, and I'm sure the people that are following your conversation, your submission this evening, I think getting motivated.
Thank you.
All right? But again, you were among the first lucky people in this country out of the over 18 million Zambians or 21 million Zambians. Bali decided to pick on you to be among the people in his first cabinet to serve this country. How do you hope to pay back to President Hakainde Hichilema for the job he has entrusted in you, besides talking to the young people?
Okay. I continue to thank God for this. Look, I feel so privileged and very lucky, because UPND has got a pool of very intelligent and very well-informed leaders. And any day, any time, he could have picked anyone. But I
more
feel
special that you were new as well in the UPND or UPND Alliance. You know.
So, and that's why I'm saying, like, I feel privileged and lucky. And that's why it's a good question you've asked me. How do I hope to pay him? But, you know, I'll continue to tell you this. That man you see in the name of Hakainde Hichilema is a man that doesn't want anything from anyone. All he wants is all of us to be loyal to the Zambian people. Serve them with dignity, integrity, and loyalty. That's what he's asking for. He doesn't like bootlickers. He's so smart, so intelligent, that you go to him bootlicking and he'll pick it. So I have decided, when I'm with him, all I say to him is the truth and something that will benefit not only him, not only me, but the country. That's just his focus. He's always said, it's not about me. It's not about you, Chipoka. It's about the country. So asking me a question to say, how do I want to pay him back? Be loyal to the Zambian people. Be loyal to my Chingola constituency. Transform my ministry into that which will lobby for prudent investment in this country, from both local and foreign investment. That will transform the way the economy of this country is today to a certain economic standing that the world will identify and say, there was a Minister of Commerce, Trade and Industry who served under a prudent president. That's where my allegiance is. And that's what the president wants me to do. There is nothing I can give him. Not that he has it, or he's just not interested in what I can give. But he's interested in me supporting him deliver for the Zambian people. His interest is to see that that child who did not have hope and chance of going to school which is always said that education is an equalizer, has a chance to go to school and attend university education. He wants me to go back to Chingola constituency and assure the people that Chingola constituency, you don't have a hospital. All you have is a clinic since independence. But while we reign, there should be a hospital. And not just a hospital with buildings and structures that we will point at, but there should be drugs in there. Every time somebody goes there, if it's Panadol, there should be Panadol. If it is ARTs, there will be ARTs. That's what we want. That's what he wants. So, if I don't serve the people with integrity, with loyalty, then I'm betraying him.
Right.
So I do not want to betray the appointing authority. By the way, you must understand, appointing, I think, leaders, it doesn't take, it's not the president alone. They sit, leaders sit to decide and make their pick. So it's a collection of leaders that sat. Obviously, the principal made the final decision. So I should think beyond. It's not one man that I'm going to disappoint. I will disappoint the entire country. Because every time I'm moving, especially when I'm moving to my ministerial car, you find that men in uniform will salute for that, or that other young boys will be watching it. That goes a minister. But what kind of a minister, what quality of a minister is this? I want to be that leader that just doesn't come to the radio or TV and talk, but offers a service that people will appreciate. That during our reign, like I always talk about the price of cement, that it should reduce, should come down. And it should come down. And they've started reducing, because these are issues that we are addressing. There are some prices of things, commodities, which are not supposed to be where they are. We'll engage them. Look, we are not a government that is going to force or dictate on business houses. No. We have to engage them. We want business houses to thrive so that jobs are created. So we need to engage them, create an enabling environment for them to succeed. And as they succeed, they should engage the locals or the foreign nationals to do this noble cause together, so that the fortunes of this country in the treasury should be replenished. Because what we have today, the president has always been talking about what we inherited. So my focus as Minister of Commerce, Trade and Industry, because my ministry is primarily to deal with the economy of this country, how business is done, the wheels of the economy, are they turning? Are industries succeeding? Are those industries that are about to close, are they flourishing? Is that industry which was closed yesterday, is it opening today? That's my interest. We're talking about value addition. That's my business, primarily me, as Minister of Commerce, Trade and Industry. We can't just be getting maize and selling it off the way it was. We can't, the only thing that we do out of maize in Zambia is minimal. Because we have got Ichigayo, Chafanta, we just can't limit ourselves to that. We need to set up industries in Zambia that will add value to our maize, into cornflakes, many other cereals, chicken feed, or any other stock feed that we can export. We do a lot of farming of these grains and the rest of them, and we just export them in their raw material.
And you are very sure that those are plans of maybe trying to revamp some defunct industries in this country.
Let me tell you something.
Will be achieved within a period of 5 years, as you'll be in government as UPND and UPND Alliance, if you wish.
Let me tell you something.
You know.
Let me tell you something.
Yeah.
In my government, we don't go anywhere, radio, TV, to say something that we are not committed to doing.
Right.
When we talk about value addition, we mean value addition. And we will do it. It is in this country where we want, look, we said the price of fertilizer is exorbitant. It must come down. It was like a joke, like we can't do it. I give you, after 1.5 months, 1.5 years, 18 months, we are putting up a plant here in Zambia that will start producing fertilizer far more than we are getting from NCZ. Right. And the price of that commodity, most likely, it will reduce to half. If not, then to be slightly more. It's almost 800 kwacha now, 700 kwacha plus. But we want it to reduce. It can't be 800. It should be about 400 or 300 or less. We will achieve it. I'm telling you about the cornflakes and everything. Right now, as we're talking, look, we have got mangoes, we've got pineapples. We just sell them in their raw form. Mwinilunga needs an industry, a ginnery, which should make juice, and we pack them from there, and we export them. It will be done under our administration. That's value addition we're talking about. The maize, it will be done under this administration, where we will have our first cornflakes, package them. Not only, because look, the Zambian population is little for industries to thrive entirely. So we want to transform Zambia into an export base. Mukula, what do you do to it? It just gets exported in as far as logs. Gentlemen, countrymen and women, why do we have to live like that? Do you know what you're doing when you send away a log of Mukula or rosewood? You're exporting industry. You're exporting jobs. You're exporting forex. Then you buy this, well plenished, well done. This alone, it will cost 5 more times the price of 1 log of Mukula, which can give you 10 of these. Why do you have to do that? So we are engaging the investors, both local and foreign, to say, guys, we've tried this extractive industry, where we just mine the copper, we export it in the form of concentrates in Dandashi or cathodes, where we cut the logs, they go like that. Let us set up industries right here in Zambia, which will process these things into finished goods. This is what we are doing. And look, it's an appeal we are making even to the public, the civil society, the church mother bodies, including the opposition themselves. What we are doing is good for everyone. It's not just good for the president. It's not good for the vice president. It's not just good for Chipok. It's good for the citizenry. Support these ideas. You just can't keep opposing just because you're in the opposition, because you don't like the person that is doing it. Apparently, leadership is quite tricky. It doesn't matter who's doing it. If they're doing a good thing, you need to work with them. You need to support them. Not all of us can be light-skinned. You are lighter than I am. I'm dark-skinned. But if you hate me because it's so dark, and then you even hate the good ways I'm doing, then you're doing injustice to yourself and the generations to come. So we mean well as a UPND government. And to demonstrate this, even the budget that is not entirely ours, we had to make a few modifications. See what it is today. People rejoiced when there was a change of regime.
When you say the budget is not entirely yours, what do you mean?
This budget was crafted by the PF.
Which, the current one?
The one we are using,
Yes.
and even the one that we presented.
Right.
Yeah, you know, budget is a law. Yeah, once it is done, crafted, you can't just go there and entirely change it. You can change a few things here and there.
Right.
And this is the one that we are going to, we are yet to finish.
Yeah.
You must understand that now, in 2022, 2023 budget, that will be now entirely a budget of the UPND. Because we will have saved, and we have done the production, we have earned our resources, and now we have got full control of what we have to present to the Zambian public. Because right now today, we are living, look, in a budget that we inherited, and within this, we have crafted something that we can offer to the people. Where for the very first time, to me now, the word unprecedented makes a whole lot of sense. We're going to employ 30,000 teachers, 11,000 plus.
Why, Honorable, do I sense, I'm sensing danger when you say this budget? Of course, I understand the technicalities around the process of crafting the budget. You just mentioned it's a law that, of course, for you to come up with a budget, it needs to, go through a number of processes, such as even collecting data and the likes, But when you say this budget is not entirely yours, it was more like a refinement or a modification from the periodic front. Why do I sense, danger that maybe in the future, should the UPND government fail to implement some of the promises in the budget to begin next year, it will be easy for you and your government to run away to say, remember, IP, when I came on your show, I did inform you that that budget wasn't entirely ours.
Let me tell you something. There is no room for failure.
Right.
Our focus is to succeed. I will not sit even on this platform to accuse our friends in the past regime to say they messed up. Yes, they did.
Right.
That's why the people moved them out and gave us a mandate. So we will not go back to the people and start saying, no, they failed. That's why this. No, we know. That's why we are. That's why I'm sitting here. There should have been a different minister here today. But there is a red minister. because people believe that the Reds will do it now.
Right.
So we are not going to start blaming anyone. We know what happened. We know what they did. Our focus is to make amends to that, correct it. And that's why I made an appeal that let the Zambian people rally behind us. If anything, let them move side by side, because we mean well. Our ambition is good. We want to make deliverables. That's what we are focusing on.
Right.
And look, this budget, it's just the beginning of things to come. 1.6 million kwacha was what they were giving in form of CDF. And people didn't, some constituencies, particularly those that were in the opposition then, they were not even receiving it. They were choked. A few select who were seemingly in power were receiving it. Others were not. But our focus is, look, we want to decentralize. Decentralization is something that the country has been crying for years. We just formed government 2 months. We give hope that we are decentralizing, empowering people. Let them have power to administer on their resources, obviously with guideline and oversight from the central government. 25.7 million. Yet others are even crying foul. How can you give so much money? Who doesn't want so much money, people? You had 1.7, now you're given so much money. You cry, you want to cry. The president had always said, the UPND leadership had always said, money is always in Lusaka. Get it away from Lusaka. If you keep everything from, anything has to be done in Lusaka. Poverty will never be alleviated in other surrounding towns. Can you decentralize? Take this even to the other places of the country, so that development will start reaching out to them. And this is now what we have done, responding to the core of the Zambian people. People should not always just want to come to Lusaka for success, to come to Lusaka for a good shopping. A time has come when now in their own places of residence, their dwelling places, they can set up malls. They can develop them as they want them to be developed. So I think we are a listening government, committed to serving the people. So to summarize your question, to say, we will one day come and say, no, we don't want to do that. We don't even want to take that path. So we pray and we hope that even yourself will join the crusade of championing the decentralization process and doing good for the Zambian people. And by the way, I should remind you, the media, you have a responsibility to educate the people on the good things that government is doing. You will not be aligned to, look, government and a political party are different. Governments will always be there, regardless of which jersey you are putting on. So when there is a good thing that you are talking about, or that is happening, your job as journalists is not just to interview. It's also to inform and educate. Like there is a CDF fund that we've talked about. It's a good thing. You need to embrace it and educate the people. People, this money now, you have it in your hands. Use it prudently. What the government of the UPND is saying is, we don't want contractors to come. Which constituency is this one here?
That's Munali.
It's under Munali constituency. In Munali constituency, we want the CDF 25.7 million kwacha to be spent here. Somebody should not come from Chawama to do a contract and a tender here. The economy of Munali must be run by the people of Munali because they have equal resources. So MPs now have been given a task to be innovative, to think outside the box. How will they empower their people? Come to Chingola constituency, you give me 25.7 million. Every day, that place will be turned into a construction site. Everybody will be working. People need to be busy. Cooperatives must be active, action-oriented, must be active, because I have the resources.
Right.
So this is the focus that this is the plight that Zambian people have always wanted, and it has been answered. So this is a good thing that must be supported.
Through the budget, of course, I'm glad you talked about the increment on the CDF, allocation or increment.
Yes.
Unprecedented, actually, increment we are talking about. 1.6, like you did mention, to 25.7 million kwacha. And we've got your colleagues as well, but the general, let's not forget the general aspect or the general figure, which is 173.7. Coming behind, the current one was about trending about 18 billion, somewhere there.
The budget?
Yeah. The total budget. All right, but some of your opponents, I don't know if I should call them your opponents, but I should say your critics, are saying this budget really is a fallacy. It's something that can't be, sustained. It's unattainable, in short. It was crafted actually to excite the people. Others are calling it is a populist budget, which is more like full of disaster ahead. What would be your response as a minister in charge of commerce, trades,
I will
and industry?
address the people of Zambia.
Yeah, sure.
We, the UPND government, you Zambian people trusted us to take over the leadership of service to you. And we have come back with a promise of how we're going to deliver to you through this budget. Judge us based on this budget we have given you.
Right.
It's a scale we've given to you to see, are they giving us 25.7 million? Are they giving concessions in the industry for the industries to thrive? Are they going to employ the 30,000 teachers they've talked about? Are they going to employ the 11,000 plus medical personnel they're talking about? Judge us. So they may say it's a fallacy. We'll see if a fallacy will not come to reality. And how we engage these people, how we employ the civil servants and everybody, it's not about a name. It's not about a connection. It's about the Zambian people. If that's what we are going to do.
Remember, we don't have money in this country. We don't have money. It was your administration, actually, when you came into power, after the August elections,
Yes.
President Bali himself, he did lament, when he appeared on BBC, in which he said he had inherited empty coffers.
Yes.
And why is this money going to come from minister?
Thank you.
And that's why your opponents, I'm sure, they had loggerheads saying, where is this money going to come from? And moreover, again, it appears this budget is more or based on consumption, unlike investments.
When you say it's based, when you talk about the budget being based on consumption, you're doing a disservice to yourself and your country.
Right.
We've gone the route of industrialization.
It's not me, actually. Your opponents, they are doing a disservice to their
if
country.
they speak like that,
yes,
they're doing a disservice to the country. Because which other government, let's be honest with ourselves, has given so much hope to industry? Well, we are telling them, set up industries here. I've just told you, we are going to see under this government where this mango will stop getting to worst.
Right.
These watermelons, you will not see them getting dried up in the sun every time. Juice, during Kaunda we are tip-top. We had, which was done here. We want to do that. Industries create jobs. Industries create businesses. Businesses create jobs. Jobs create revenue into people's pockets. And this is what we are doing. So how is it only consumption-based? Right. Then you say, there is no money you've inherited. It is true. There is no money. But we are now creating revenue. We are generating money. And money that we are generating for the Zambian people. Our critics are saying it can't happen because they think we are equally having a desire to keep what is belonging to the people in our pockets. Because to them, in their minds, it's still there. When money is there, keep it in your pockets. Run business. Business officials or ministers should compete in business with the people they are meant to serve or provide an enabling business environment with. That's not who we are. The resources we get, we give them to the people. That's our focus.
How are you generating this money?
Excellent. Let me tell you something.
Apart from, the couch of borrowing.
Let me tell you something good, and you must listen to this.
Yeah.
That's why I love this administration. Listen to this. Just the moment when we won the election, the World Bank reached out and gave us 1.7 billion. 1.7 billion. We announced, it was not public by the World Bank. We came to the public. Must be sorry for the figures, must be, but it was $1 billion plus. I need to engage the Minister of Finance. We came to the public because of the goodwill and leadership that we have shown to the world. We've been given $1 billion plus. And what do we do with this $1 billion plus? It doesn't have to go into our pockets. We've been given to serve the people. Then we have seen opportunity now to recruit. Money is there. The president doesn't make just trips anyhow. Each trip he is making is designed and tailored to benefit the Zambian people, including the unborn child in Zambia. He just returned from Glasgow. My brother, the Ministry of Green Economy, just returned yesterday from England, from where, because of how we presented ourselves, how we marketed our country. We got a whopping £1 billion coming to Zambia to be invested in the Zambian sector. We are attracting revenue. The money that, listen, it's about prudent management of resources. Our colleagues, billions of dollars, they sunk this country into debt, which is maturing for payment very soon.
Next year.
Next year. In a period of 3 years, it will start paid. In a period of 4 years, we are going to get a loan. It must be $1 billion plus, which I just mentioned. Do you know how we negotiated? If this money you want us to start paying you in the next year or 2 years, we can't get it. But we should spread it across, pay in a period of maybe 30 years. Then we can afford. It should be so easy to pay a debt. Not every time you get paid, all of it goes into debt servicing. Then you are not going to have money for investment. You are not going to have disposable income for your people. Spread it across. The president was in England. He met with the Eurobond lenders. It had never happened with the past regime. They didn't even want to meet them because they never showed prudence in how they managed the resources. They came to the table, they sat down together. There is a plan to discuss restructuring and reprofiling of the debt that Zambia has. We are in talks. And other than that, we are giving hope to industries to produce more and export more.
I'm coming to
revenue will come
I've
into
got
the country.
questions regarding...
I just need to answer on the money that you talked about.
Yes.
How we're going to earn it.
Yeah.
We've given concessions to industries so that they can produce more.
Right.
And when they produce more, they will export more.
Right.
When they export more, Forex will come in the country. When Forex comes in the country, we have money. And we'll spend it to the people prudently. So we are going to earn money because we've got ideas and plans that will generate wealth for the people of Zambia.
How much, Honorable Minister, do you intend under the new Dawn administration in engaging, like your critics, for example? Because you remember that there are people out there with, knowledge or that have got ideas on how this country can best, governed. For example, Sean Tembo, who just released his alternative budget today as well, and according to his budget, is saying it's something that can be financed within or locally, unlike borrowing. Because remember, even when you were in the opposition, you were among the people that went on rampage and decampaigned or criticized the Patriotic Front against the culture of borrowing.
Oh yes, it was a wrong culture.
But again, 2 months or 3 months down the line in office, you began borrowing.
I'll tell you something.
We can't do it on our own.
Let me tell you something. And we are on record. We talked about careless borrowing, increasing the debt ceiling for pocket use.
Right.
The more this country borrowed, the more it sank into debt and into poverty. You need to borrow for investment. It's always what we talked about.
Right.
We talked about this and we are on record. Don't borrow for personal use. Our people today, you and I, the taxpayers, we are in debt for money that we don't even know how it was spent on. The projects that they had to go into infrastructure development, we've got no problem with infrastructure development. It is good.
Right.
We need it. But we always talked, prioritize sectors of infrastructure or areas of infrastructure development that you want to do. That when you borrow, you invest into infrastructure, they'll regain value, they'll gain value and start repaying the debt themselves. Roads are good, but take them to industrial park, industrial centers. That's what we wanted. Set up industries, revive Masa batteries, revive Monunshi plant, revive the banana plant in Luapula, revive Kawambwa tea. That's what we talked about. Set up a ginnery, open Mulungush textiles, set up a textile industry. Those are issues we talked about, because those industries will revive the economy of Zambia. And this is what we are doing. I have a dream that before we leave government, it's a dream I have. And we are working. It's a working dream. We are working in progress. That one day, soon actually, I should come to this interview with a suit well sewn in Zambia. Right. By the way, you must know, Zambia is the 3rd largest producer of cotton in Southern Africa. But what do we do with the cotton? Or export it in its cotton raw form out of this country. Cotton, but that's what the new Dawn government wants to do. That's what we want to do. We need to invest into textile industry.
How do you hope to promote the small businesses in this country under the Ministry of Commerce? Because when we talk about commerce, of course, we deal with the business in there.
Yeah.
Vis-a-vis taking off the bureaucratic, systems in your offices, for example, in which for one to just go to the Ministry of Commerce and Trade to explain about the project that one has. I, for one, have covered a number of young people, very innovative young people,
sure,
that have come here. We have displayed a lot of projects here to deal with, it can be electricity, finding solutions to electricity. We talk about issues to do with maybe manufacturing, maybe cars and the likes. Young people have come here. We've gone in the field to talk to young people. But one response they've given to us, each time you advise them to visit your ministries, is the bureaucratic procedure.
When you talk about bureaucratic procedure, I know you mean moving from one office to the next, registration process is so difficult.
In the end, you frustrate the innovators.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's because of what you have just said. That's why, my ministry is responsible for registration of companies and seeing that they thrive and they succeed and they set up and they are supported. It's unfortunate in Zambia, even right now, while I'm minister, to register a company, you need about 5, 6, 10 licenses to exist. You go back where your place, after all these licenses are done, with statutory bodies or quasi-government agencies, the local government or councils are also demand for many taxes, receipts and the licenses. That increases the cost of doing business. I got a call from a young lady in Luansha recently who said they are being charged some certain amount of money just to get a form, and when they register a form, this kind of thing. So according to her, her capital that she had is going to finish in the registration. You know what the president has done? He's given a good directive. Chipoka, you're Minister of Commerce, Trade and Industry, means of how to limit the cost of doing business just on inception. Right. If we can come up with just 2 licenses or 1, or maximum 3, then a company is registered. It must be done. And I'm working on it. And I promise the Zambian people, there's so many licenses that you go through to register. It will come to an end very soon. Watch the space. I'm promising the Zambian people that a time very soon will come to an end where we send our people from one office another kilometers apart to register a company. We want things to be done under one roof. Registration is done. A time is coming to an end where Zambians stopped queuing or waiting for 6 years, 5 years for a title deed or other certificates to be done. If it can be done in a day or 2, within a week the process must be completed. That's what we want as a new Dawn government. Why should people report for work and attend to responsibilities after a year? We want people to work. Honorable Nkombo, just yesterday, he was in Parliament telling the Zambian people why they should be focusing on working, as opposed to 1 week of, is it cultural day or what? Playing, dancing, and beating drums. We've seen it in this country, where even when a footballer scores a goal, tomorrow a holiday is being declared. When anything just happens, a holiday is declared. Every day that you send people at home, you're sending them to their poverty. We are an economy that can't keep sitting. We are an economy that needs to be working. We are an economy that wants people busy. And then we remunerate them. Zambians are very hardworking. They want to work. And this is the government that has come now to give them opportunities. So it's the same thing with my ministry and other aligned ministries. We can't keep people, Zambian people, they want to set up businesses, but because of the chain of licenses to pay for, even their dream finishes, like you said, dies out before they can realize their dream. But we want anyone who has got a passion to do anything, anyone with a dream, they realize their dreams. Very soon, it will come to an end. When you used to see PACRA, my agency, in my ministry, releases names of 100 companies that they've registered. We used to see it, where it was very normal, and probably others could even take delight. We've registered 50 companies. They were just filling the space on our database. No. What we are doing now in my ministry, I've engaged the CEO for PACRA. In an event that there are companies that are idle on your database, don't deregister them. Go and engage them. You had a dream to register, but you are non-existent. Why? What can we do as a government? What can we do as an agency to support you, to realize your dream of existency? Listen to them. Don't delight in deregistering companies. I should take pride in setting up industries, setting up companies, setting up SMEs. To answer your question, what can we do to support SMEs? As a government, prudent government, with an ambition of achieving the MDGs, Millennium Development Goals of 2030, becoming a middle income state, this government, under the leadership of His Excellency President Hakainde Hichilema, has set up a ministry, small and medium enterprises, and cooperatives. Any government that neglects the influence of SMEs and cooperatives, they do it at their own peril. That's why we are where we are today. We ignored SMEs. Now we have set up a ministry that is primarily committed to seeing that SMEs are supported, cooperatives are supported. We're a government that will not subject Zambian companies to unfavorable competition with foreign giants. We will not do that.
Do you have a dream, Honorable Minister, to see Zambia or Zambians one day begin to assemble vehicles, for example? You know, I ask this question very pertinent because we've got our neighbor Rwanda, you know, a country that has been, you know, through civil wars. You know, today, I think it's one of the fast-growing economy as we speak right now. They're able to assemble vehicles. And in this country, we seem to be behind. And one of your dream, you are saying you would want to come on this platform one day wearing a suit, you know, made in Zambia. What about maybe assembling vehicles, for example? Am I being naive to ask that question?
No, you're being
realistic. Or is it far-fetched dream?
No, you're being very realistic.
Right.
When I just became Minister of Commerce, I think Toyota is a good brand. They have they've launched a wonderful vehicle, a Land Cruiser L300. It's yet to hit the markets. It's been launched in Zambia. So we did this at the Japanese ambassador's residence. When I was there, reading a speech about the vehicle, I said these words to answer your question about my dream. There's a statement that Toyota has, Zambia drives Toyota. And I appealed to the ambassador, Japanese ambassador, to the CEO, in front of people. I said, I look forward to a time when we'll stop just saying Zambia drives Toyota, but we will one day say Zambia builds Toyota.
Right.
We've done it before in this country. Tata had an assembly plant. Land Rover in Ndola. We can do it. And that's my vision and plan. When I said that, the Japanese ambassador, I saw him start clapping. He was so amazed. And he said, I want to have a meeting with you so we can see how we can discuss this further.
Right.
He came to my office. We discussed a few of the other things. We are yet to have more meetings. So,
Minister Chipoka,
I have that dream.
All right. I know we've got a few minutes remaining before we close our program, but let me squeeze in a few questions here. Minister Chipoka, further on the business aspect, besides the industry that, of course, needs much attention, your attention, because you are here now. Let's talk about the politics surrounding the business in this country. You know, you are a testimony here that during your tenure in the opposition, you were, you know, laid off in a certain company because of the politics around, where people, we fail sometimes to distinguish politics as well as business. For example, we've seen that a number of businesses today, when one is identified maybe to be supporting maybe the opposition and not the government, it will be easy for government to pounce on such a person and, you know, clear up the business, and maybe he or she will be followed, you know, being accused of being corrupt.
You've seen that happen today?
You know, I'm saying we've got this history,
okay,
this
good.
country.
Okay, good.
How do you hope to dilute or delink?
I'll tell you something. We are a government that is pro-democracy.
Yeah.
Businesses, you know, I remember there was a time when my president, Hakainde Hichilema, was in opposition.
Yeah.
He was asked about his wealth and politics. He said something that I loved very much. He said, let's learn to separate politics from business.
Yeah.
That's who we are.
Because he was demonized even himself, you remember?
That's who we are.
Yes.
We are a government that separates politics from business.
Right.
We don't care who runs a business. You can be light-skinned like that. You can be dark-skinned like me. You can be white. You can be black. You can be opposition. You can be government. Our focus is, are you creating jobs for the Zambian people? Are you paying the right taxes? Are you attracting investment in this country? That's our focus. Because you have got the right of assembly, right of association, freedom of expression.
Right.
Because of these liberties that you have to enjoy, we don't have to destroy your businesses. That's why this past regime, they led the economy to what it is today. Whoever was perceived to be the opposition, their businesses were closed, choked. When you close these businesses of the perceived opponents, it is not that individual that you are closing the business for. You are closing a business for many Zambians. And unfortunately, if we close businesses for the opposition, those opposition have employed people who also belong to us. The poverty that will translate into those people, it will make the anger of those people now come on us. And that's why our friends are history. We've come in. We've learned lessons from them. We can't take that path. We are a very tolerant government. Today you see them talking on top of their voices. We will not go after them. They are enjoying their freedom and their democracy. And we will take concern and draw concern from their sentiments. Other sentiments are constructive. Others just mean it's daily politics. But we will allow them to express themselves as long as they are doing it within the confines of the law. We will listen to them. We will not beat them. We will not hack them. My hand was almost cut here in Lusaka just because of being in opposition, just because of being aligned and expressing myself freely. We don't want to do that. We want the opposition to exist side by side with us. We want them, all we're just appealing to them is be realistic, be prudent in what you say for the good of the country. Because even from the opposition, we will learn something. But they should be very realistic. So we are a very tolerant and very, very democratic government.
Right.
You will not hear me or any government official inciting youths or the police to be unleashed or the government agencies on some businesses because they belong to the opposition. That's not who we are. Even that, look, that 1.6 million that was being given as CDF, most then opposition UPND MPs, they were not even getting it because they were in opposition. But was it about that MP? It was about the people. Us, with this president we have, when that 25.7 million is ready for disbursement, every member of parliament that has a constituency, it will reflect in their accounts. That's what we want to do. So even themselves, they will see that this president, this vice president, this cabinet, this party UPND is not discriminatory. It is concerned about the welfare of everyone. That's why even this budget that we have sent to Parliament, for any member of Parliament to refuse to vote for it, then I don't know what they want. Then they are against themselves and the people. Because for the first time, everybody's getting empowered to have access to the resources that they just used to admire to from a select few. So, we will not follow anyone who has got nothing. Look, if you are opposition, you're running a business, and then you are stealing from government, you are not declaring your taxes, because you think, when they come for me, I'll say, I'm a politician, that's why I've come for you. No, figures will show. You're a thief. You're not being realistic. It's the same thing that will happen. If you are a new PND, you're not doing what the law states, the law will visit you. So, let us just do what is right. We encourage even the opposition to do whatever they have to do in business, and we'll support them.
I'll take further. I'm going to bring back this question. You've answered it already, but I think I need your reaffirmation to it. In terms of your plans, let's talk about the Mulungushi textile.
Yes.
You know, it's a very provocative, industry that we can talk about. Reason being that, remember in 2016, or prior to the election in 2016, that textile was reopened by the then government. And then shortly after the elections,
they closed it.
What happened? They closed it, or it was closed. You know, and again, before the actually the elections again, we could hear some rumors here and there that government was about to reopen again the Mulungushi textile.
Became a traditional ceremony.
Exactly, and people or young people got frustrated because they had seen hope in that industry to get employed. What happened? That textile again is going back to its knees. Not only the Mulungushi textile, we can go to Kafue as well. The textile again, which is not doing well among a lot of them. In the 1990, we had the, for example, the Mansa battery you can talk about today, which were
the Mansa batteries.
You know,
an industry.
Yeah.
Which they sold and turned it into a shopping mall.
Exactly.
Shopping malls don't create money. Don't
this is a
create
pressure,
revenue.
Honorable,
They
that you
suck money.
have. This is a pressure that you have, Honorable.
We know.
And in that ministry where you are right now, remember, you know, there's been people there, very, you know, I would say intelligent people. With due respect for you as well, you're also intelligent.
Thank you.
But these are old people that were there, you know, with experienced type of leadership. You can talk about even Honorable Mwanakatwe, she was there as well. But this thing never materialized.
It's about priorities. It's about what you want to do for your people. You can be intelligent, but you use your intelligence dubiously. You can be smart. And people say, this person is intelligent. But where do they subject their intelligence? You have authority, but how do you use your authority? You have got the power, but what do you use your power for? That's what distinguishes people. Application of the goodwill that they have. We have, look, Zambia had, the past regime inherited a good economy. They inherited a treasury with the resources. And they had the power to disperse those resources in whichever way they wanted. Where is the country today? Debt-ridden, poverty levels increased, unemployment levels keep going high. Here we are. We've assumed the same authority that they had. What have we chosen to do with the money? That we are even just perceiving to becoming. That is not even there. We've got plans for it to be spent in a good way. Right. The little that is there, that is even coming right now. We know there are brothers and sisters there that have got no jobs. Just now, look, you're saying it's a fallacy. The budget is a fallacy, or our pronouncements are a fallacy. How many fertilizer bags were they given? 4 bags. Now, 2 months in power, we are giving 6 bags each. 2 months in power, we are giving 6 bags each. What of a time when we even start now generating more money for our people? This life that Zambian people are living today is not what we want. We promise the Zambian people, but we want to go beyond the promises we gave. But to achieve this, Zambians, join us in the crusade of developing this country. We mean well. When you criticize us, it should be objective. The media circulate this information. Let the public know about the good things we're doing. You take the chance to say, go to the farmers and ask them, you used to get 4 bags of fertilizer, now you've got 6. How do you think your yield will be? How much big land of agricultural cultivation will you do? These are things that you need to do. That's the kind of support we're asking you. We're not asking all of you to be ready. No. Just send a message there. This is what we are doing. If you don't do it, we'll do it. By bringing policies that are good for the people. So this is what we are doing. They could have been intelligent, but to what did they subject their intelligence? Right. Sending youths to beat fellow youths because they were in different political parties. The same youths that they were sending to beat others, they started beating them. We saw ministers being slapped. Is that what you want? That's the authority they had.
We have a number of MPs, in this country.
We have a number of MPs.
These are industries, if you want to see them, unless there's a public event. There's a launch where people, they go and read these speeches. After speeches, it becomes a history.
And that, I'll tell you something. We are doing something differently.
Right.
That will empower the Zambian people. I must mention, very soon, I'll be making an announcement at the right time, very soon.
Right.
We've got plants, be it fertilizer plants, be it cement plants, where our focus with this president we have is to increase shareholding for Zambians in any sector that exists. In Zambia, you were very okay with getting a 20% in a contract which is given to foreign nationals. And you are bragging about it. 20%, even the leadership, top leadership, could go and pronounce, this contract we've given you, 20% belongs to the Zambians, you should give it to them. Honestly, 20% for the Zambians? If you can't get 100% or 80% in this country, 50%, where will you get 100%? Because go across the border, you won't even get 2%. But our focus is to increase shareholding in these strategic position sectors for the Zambian people. If you can't run it 100%, whoever comes, dialogue with them. Look, they have the money that we don't have. We have the resources they don't have.
Right.
So it's a win-win situation.
You take that as your closing remarks, Honorable, please.
Okay. So, to them that are investing in our country, they're not doing us a favor. Neither are we doing them a favor by them settling here. It's a win-win situation. So we need to dialogue, we need to negotiate, we need to interact on how both of us win. For the good of the Zambian people. We look forward to the time when we will be, this term of office will be finishing and many more ahead of us. We want to look back and say, we have created Zambian millionaires, Zambian billionaires. That's what we want. So we are setting deliberate policies where we are going to create Zambian millionaires and billionaires.
Right.
So the message that I have to the people out there is, stand up, be counted, be among those that will reach out. Look, we love our women, we love our youth, we love our children. I've talked about the women. Look at Mutarina Lumango. President HH did not just go anywhere in the street or anywhere to say, oh, I want a woman president, vice president, I'll pick you. She stood and said, I'm equal to the task. Right. That's how she was noticed. You asked about the youths. Chipoka Mlenga didn't just sit at home and sleep and say, HH is going to identify me. I said, we are going to fight for the liberation of the Zambian people. Let's do this noble cause together. They said Copper Belt is a stronghold of the PF where we marched, we campaigned, people believed in us, including the PF that are left there. We love them, we care for them, and we want to do this with them. So Zambia, then United Party for National Development, UPND New Dawn government, we mean well. The budget is a good document for you. Our aspirations are meant to serve you better, not to oppress you, beat or kill you, but to work with you and to live together in harmony as brothers and sisters. With love, I bring to you from the President of this Republic of Zambia, Kainde Hichilema, and Her Honor the Vice President, Mutarina Lumango. God bless you, God bless Zambia. Thank you.
Minister Chipoka Mlenga, thank you so much for coming for the program.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much.
Good.
Right, so I've been hosting Honorable Chipoka Mlenga, Minister of Commerce, Trades and Industry, and I'm sure he's managed to respond to a number of questions that you had. And of course, we will engage him in the near future.